we see a lot of people in life that are so wounded they can't be grateful, you know, because they're stuck in the hurt and the pain. And so, ceremony is many, many things.
Yeah.
But once we reintroduce, many of our people to these ways, take it home. It's not, you don't just do this once a year retreat. You take it home,
Yeah.
make it part of your life, make it part of who you are. And sometimes we have to step in to places in which there's been harm, where there's been a vacant absence. I was working with this young man, 15-year-old young man, and the probation officer referred him to me because he was a fighter. He was getting in fights and getting kicked out of schools, and he was there. He didn't really want to come to therapy, man. So I'm sitting there talking with him, playing some music and stuff. And the first two sessions, he didn't talk very much, right? And we're there for the third session, and then we finished, and I said, okay, we're done, man. He says, hey, you think you could give me a ride home? And and I said, well, Mijo, I'd love to give you a ride. I'll give you a bus token, and you can ride the bus free. I can't ride bus, man. Let's go to two other neighborhoods. Those fools take me out. And back then, they didn't have Uber or Lyft. It was taxis. I said, well, I'll give you a taxi voucher. Fool, I ain't riding with my neighborhood in a taxi. Just take me home, fool. I mean, you go that way anyway. I know you, and you said I was your last client, so just take me. I said, I would take you, but the policies in our agency said we can't transport clients. It's a liability, so I can call a taxi for you. And he leaned back like that, and he looked at me. He said, well, you know what, man? In my neighborhood, the policy says I shouldn't be here. It's a liability. So what's up? You can give me a ride home? And when they got you.
Got you.
And the thing is, the policies say you're supposed to do a certain way. I heard my grandma say, llévalo, take him home. Who do you listen to? I said, okay, mijo, meet me in my car by the alley. Don't tell nobody. I'm not going to write in my notes. And we get in the car, and I'm taking this young man home. And we're driving. And about 3 or 4 blocks in, I look over, and I see some tears coming out of his eyes. Right? And I said, mijo, what's the matter? No, nothing. It's just my sinuses. Sometimes, we play it off like that. I said, mijo, it's not your sinus. Why are you crying? Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you. You know, I didn't grow up with my dad. I said, yeah, I know you didn't. Well, when I was a little boy, I always used to see these kids riding with their dad, and I always wondered, like, what would it be like to ride with a dad? And I never knew what it was like to ride with a dad. And he says, I know, Mr. Tello, you're not my dad, but at least I kind of know what it's like to ride with a dad now. He says, thank you for giving me a ride home. I'm not going to tell nobody. He says, and I'm sorry that I don't talk. He says, but all these things in my head, I don't know how to put words to all these things that go on and make me crazy and make me not sleep and make me not like. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try. I'm going to try and do better because I want to be better. I don't want to fight. I don't like fighting all the time, but sometimes I don't know what else to do because I don't know how to say words to that. I became his father. And it dislodged something. And that young man transformed. Why? Because I gave him a ride home. Right? But symbolically, he wanted to know, how much do you care about me?
Right.
Are you going to stretch beyond the policies, procedures, beyond what you're required to do? Do you love me enough? Do you see me enough? Will you welcome me that way? And once you show them that love, it's like, all right, let's go.
Let's go. My eyes are burning. It's no sinuses.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, I mean, we're living in dramatic times,
Yeah.
Of intense, systematic erasure and taking us away from these traditions and our history.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of challenges, and I don't want to focus on the challenge so much as like, what is giving you hope right now? You know, it's more than 5 decades. Like you said, this is generational work
Yeah.
that you've been blessed and called to do. But what is giving you hope in this present moment in time?
I was in Sacramento on Monday doing a training, and this young man, 22-year-old, was there, and we're doing the conocimiento, introduce yourself, and he
Yeah.
introduced himself. He says he's from Stockton, and he says, I just want to give gratitude. He says, because I was a young man that was struggling. I was banging and drugging and hurting my family and doing all kinds of stuff. And he says, and then you came and you spoke and you cried and you were real and you told me I was sacred. And I didn't believe you at the time. I didn't believe you, but I heard that and I remembered that. And then I went through Jova Noble. I went through one of the programs. He says, and by the end of the program, I believed I could be sacred. He says, and now, you know, I'm going to be a facilitator. I'm going to teach those young men. Mr. Tello, I want to thank you, for doing this work, because it's not going to end with you. I'm going to make sure those stories that you tell, I'm going to tell those stories now. So it's seeing the young people, the next generation, and seeing this. It's seeing you. It's seeing, that you write a book about this. We're having a podcast about this. When I started this years, you don't know how much pushback
Yeah.
I got. Not only, the first time because I was doing a lot of this work, and I'll tell you, during the Chicano movement and the Civil Rights movement, we were right in it. I was during the what they call the Watts riots or blowouts. I was entering high school. So there was a National Guard on the corner of my house, right? And I would walk to school, and this National Guard, again, this is not new. They're right on the corner with a tank on the corner of my house. And me and my friend walking to school, and they're cocking their AK-47. It's like, what the fuck, And they look at me and smile. It's like, what the hell? Should we go to school? My mom said I go to school. Yeah, but these fools are right here. And my grandma, we got to go to school. And we walk to school, and I get to school, and my leg's shaking, and I'm thinking about, oh, shit. I didn't learn nothing that day, man. But I'm nervous, and, and you get anxious in your body, and, all of those things, go on. And the thing is that as much as I saw that and felt that, and then the civil rights movement, Chicano movement, that gave me a sense of pride in my people, and taught me about injustice and all that. And I began then to say, no, we need this. And then I said, well, I'm going to help heal my people. I go become a therapist. And the training that I got was not about healing us. It was about diagnosing us. It was about medicating us. It was about, giving reason to lock us up, incarcerate, or deport, or take kids away. It wasn't about healing us. So, but as I was, in there doing this work, the thing that really jacked me up is they were sending me black and brown men that were being accused for domestic violence, for gang violence, for drug dealing, for child abuse. And they look like me. They look like my dad. I'm very proud of my people. But I'm saying, why are we hurting ourselves? Why are we hurting our wives? Why are we hurting our kids? So it caused this disconnect in me, deep. And there was nothing being offered to help heal. So I said, well, okay. And I talked, I had some other camaradas that, that were doing work as therapists, as teachers, as advocates. I said, let's create our own stuff, man. Let's create our own,